Last Sunday, I was watching 60 Minutes, the investigative news magazine on CBS, and there was a story about the devastation and the destruction and horrible suffering in the aftermath of the earthquake in Syria back in February. And the story this evening was about this American medical charity that set up a hospital in an old office building amidst all of the destruction. And there was poverty in the area and much suffering of so many people. One doctor spoke of a 20-year-old young man who had got engaged the day before the earthquake, and the next day his whole family was dead. Another injured woman came to the doctor, and she told him that all 6 of her children had died in the earthquake. It ended up that they were able to rescue 3 of them, and 3 of them had died. One of the doctors from America, an orthopedic surgeon, said, "There are days where you fight bouts of helplessness and hopelessness, and you wonder what you're accomplishing, and you feel like you're trying to empty the ocean with a small cup of water. But it never ends, and the suffering never ends," he said. "But it's those brief flashes that are enough to keep you going for another month." They are truly doing God's work there in Syria as they go up against all odds, helping one person at a time, bringing hope and healing to so many. I think it brings light to many situations in the world, of course, that at times can seem overwhelming and even impossible to resolve. How can we make a difference in the world filled with war and poverty, hunger and illness? In our readings today, we can look to St. Peter as a true model of one who allows the power of God to work in him and through him. In the gospel, Peter shows unwavering trust in Jesus, even though Jesus' words about the Eucharist were hard for many to accept. Though he will later fail Jesus by denying and abandoning him in his hour of need, Peter's trust in the Lord, particularly in the risen Lord, will give him confidence and empower him in his mission to lead the church. We see this exemplified in that first reading where St. Peter, in the same power and name of Jesus, heals a man paralyzed for 8 years and restores a beloved woman to life. Most of us can't expect to bring healing and life in such a dramatic way as St. Peter did. And most of us can't expect to perform the miraculous work that surgeons and nurses are doing and performing in Syria daily. Yet if we follow Peter's example and let the Lord work in and through us, we can make a difference in the lives of people around us, even if it is in small ways. By word and deed, we can make a difference. We can restore life maybe to someone who is discouraged and feels unable to go on. We can bring a sense of healing and wholeness to friends and family who may be suffering. We can pray for someone who needs our prayers. Today, as we celebrate the feast of St. Catherine of Siena, St. Catherine of Siena lived only 33 years of her life, but she did so much in those 33 years. She accomplished much. She was a mystic, devoting 3 full years of her life to a period of prayer and seclusion. Then following that, she began to serve her neighbors, giving alms to the poor and ministering to the sick and prisoners. She went on to be a guide at a very young age to popes and priests and religious men and women. And she was declared a doctor of the church by Pope Paul VI. She clearly had a good balance in life as a woman of prayer that backed it up with the follower of Christ that went into the world to help others, bringing healing and life to those in need. So may Jesus in this Eucharist today give all of us the power to bring healing and life to those around us in whatever ways they need it and in whatever ways we are capable, even those small ways. May we, putting our trust in Jesus, make a difference in the lives of those around us, helping to transform the little worlds that we live.